look, guys, there was some controversy over the weekend because Sam Smith released a music video that was highly offensive, highly scandalous. Sam Smith was out here with his nipples protruding, very disrespectful. It was gross. There's this music video for his song I'm Not Here to Make Friends.
There's the picture if anybody wants to look at it. I will then.
Yeah, there's some screen caps from his performance. We obviously can't play it here because it is his copyrighted material. But essentially, he is singing this song about, it has mildly like sexual lyrics about like pulling someone when you go to the nightclub, right?
Oh my God.
That's pretty commonplace for pop music these days, whether it's from a gay artist or a straight artist or anywhere in between. That's not really what people were shocked by. It's just that, how do I say this?
It's tasteless.
Did you watch it?
I've seen clips of it flowing about, and it's...
Yeah, there were clips rotating of it. I have watched the video myself. I will not subject you guys to watching it yourselves. But essentially, I think the worst part of it was him walking around in nipple pasties and a corset and underwear and imitating getting peed on by a room full of people.
Yeah.
And drinking it. Yes. So that was in the video.
What are you trying to say?
I'm just putting it all out there just so that we can talk about this honestly. And
when you're an artist, right, and he's not even starting, he's like mid-career, he's pretty successful.
Yeah, he's a successful dude.
Yeah, what are you trying to say? Like what I get I don't get, but like I guess I understand the pasties and the whatever and the debauchery. But why the getting peed on thing? no, like for real.
Good
it's
question.
Like, is this central to the theme of your song? Is this provocative for provocative's sake?
It's provocative for provocative.
I mean, even his last hit with Kim Petras called Unholy, which again is like, okay. Like, lay off of the religious themes. Like, you're so uninteresting.
This isn't provocative. It's just gross. It's like...
Right.
At one point...
And the music is just sucking. Like,
this... I mean, I don't know.
Sam Smith has been making the same song since, like, 2014.
He's got a great voice, too. You know, I've heard him sing.
He's just not doing himself any favors.
I get it, but, like, what... Must we give the beast everything it desires?
Yep.
Like at every single piece of media that we consume, we must appease the beast. And it's like, hey, let me embarrass myself for the sake of who knows what.
That's the thing, though. It's not embarrassing for them. They frame it as empowerment, right? So the way that this was reported by some media outlets like BuzzFeed was Sam Smith's music video is an unapologetic celebration of queer sex and queer bodies.
Well, it's because of shit takes like this that they're getting AI-generated content.
It says, bigots are up in arms, but that's not holding the non-binary icon back one bit.
Cool, thanks.
Just LOL. Like, this resistance narrative that you have created about the fact that people think it's gross when you imitate drinking pee.
And this is why a computer deserves your job.
Well, it's like
true.
They're being dishonest when they say like nobody had a problem when rap artists do this type of stuff in their videos. I'm like, yes, they do.
Not true.
People complain when Megan Thee Stallion and when what's her name do and Cardi B. Whenever those women do it, people get up in arms just as much. It's just not given the same.
Like,
level
remember WAP?
Yep, that's
WAP
what I'm saying.
was a big deal.
That was the first thing that I thought of.
That kind of. Pushed into a new boundary of like hypersexuality in entertainment. And it was done by women, straight women. It's not about homophobia. So now this is being twisted into some resistance oppression narrative where Sam Smith is getting hate because he's gay. And first of all, before anyone comes for me, I know it's not you guys in the chat, but I don't care about appeasing these like they them pronouns. Like I don't care. I'm sorry. I am going to refer to Sam Smith as a he. And this is a completely like a masculine presenting individual.
Kind of.
It's just, I find this very try hard, and now that some people have pointed out that it's gross, you get to act like you're Marilyn Manson in the 90s. Like,
and that's the thing,
it's
you're
just not landing. It's not working for you.
That's the thing. By the way, I think this is what offends me the most, is that I have to pretend that this is not controversial, but because it is, that it's edgy, on the bleeding edge. Like, oh my God, has anyone ever done this before? Pretty much every single person is doing this.
Right. Why?
This is norm. Being a disgusting effing pig is the norm right now. Like, that's, what do you want me to say? You're not impressing me. It's not avant-garde. It's not making me think. It's not making me reflect. It's just more lowest common denominator slop for the masses. And you know what? Words mean things to a certain amount of us. And if you're gonna do the latest in whatever, have the decency to at least try. Because I'm losing count of all the shit, anti-Christian, like pro debauchery content that there's out there. You know? Right. Like, try a different angle at least. Yeah. Try a different camera lens, some different lighting. I don't know, new lyrics, new something.
Someone in the chat just said yuck, and then another person said shock value. Now I want to address that. It's not shock value, is it? Because were any of us shocked by this?
No, I'm not shocked. Yeah,
I wasn't shocked.
That's what I'm saying.
I was just kind of like tepidly like, ew.
Ew. Yeah, gross.
I was
again.
Just like, huh. Like, it's like seeing Diogenes like jacking off in a barrel in ancient Greece. Like, are you being artistic and edgy?
Also,
Diogenes? No. Like, people are just walking by and being like, that's
do we
gross.
have to pretend now that fat people in pasties is like overtly sexual? You're humiliating them. Like, I'm in the spirit of body positivity. Hey, how about we don't humiliate fat people on
choice,
screen?
Right? Like, this was Sam Smith's choice for himself and his artistic direction, and it's obviously not working.
I'm guessing that he was like, really? We're doing this? Like, okay, well,
this is
maybe
kind of the move,
come on the show and correct me if you must.
Sam Smith, if you're watching.
Or at Danefont on Twitter, DANEFONT, write me and tell me, like, no, actually, I wanted this. Yeah. But, you know, like, I'm guessing it's not his first thoughts. Like, hey, me in a dress with pasties on, looking absolutely terrible. Let's do it.
I mean, a lot of people's problems with this was that the video is not age restricted on YouTube. And age-appropriate content on YouTube has been a problem for years now, and it's nowhere close to a problem getting solved. Like, just look into ElsaGate. That's all I need to say. But, yeah, like, a video like this is this overtly sexual. It should be age-restricted, if not banned, like, in my ideal world. And a lot of anchors on Gordon Morning Britain, actually, pointed out that this is kind of normalizing themes, elements from hardcore pornography, because I can't say words on YouTube, right? But this can be shown on YouTube, right?
Right.
And they find it inappropriate that this is even accessible to minors, a lot of whom are the fan base for these types of artists.
Again, I'm not even approaching this from a religious, solid, or pious point of view. I'm not trying to be holier than thou. I could not give any less of a shite. It's the how much more of this? How much more? Like, how many times do you want me to say yes, queen? Like, how many yes, queen is yes, queen enough?
Have you slayed yet? Are you done slaying yet?
Like, it's been slain.
It's
girl.
Whatever you were trying to slay, it's been dead. You're slaying a dead horse.
Can we eat it? Can we cook it? It's rotting. You slayed it.
Right. Yeah.
Queen.
No, that's why I'm still like reeling at the fact that people are saying, "Oh, it's just shock value, it's shock value." Like, no one's shocked.
I'm not shocked. I'm tired.
What is there to be shocked at anymore?
Shock me. Shock me. Please shock me.
Like, we've gone so beyond that point. Like, we need to rein it back. I would be shocked at someone just giving a good performance. Like, imagine a Super Bowl halftime where someone just got on a stage and like sang a song with a spotlight and just left.
Yeah, do
like,
this
I'd
performance.
literally be shocked.
Do this performance in a country where you really can't do it. I'll be like, oh wow, damn, I'm shocked. You know, in the U.S., that's a cult for this. Basically, it's our national identity currently in the moment is giving guys like you oodles of money to just do this nonstop, apparently. Like, shock me.
I love how another aspect of this is that you just can't criticize someone who's non-binary, which is like a continuing theme in Hollywood.
We can't what?
So like, because he like identifies as non-binary, people are like, wow, you're discriminating against him for being non-binary. Like one of these anchors on Good Morning Britain,
I don't even know,
Richard Madelli, and he objected to the video on the same grounds that like it should be age restricted, whatever. But while voicing his opinion, he accidentally referred to Sam Smith as he, him, like the wrong pronouns.
Imagine.
And then his own fellow anchors called him out for it at the same time on air. And then he got flamed on the internet for that instead of having his actual points addressed.
By the way, also, how lame is every public figure that, hey guys, welcome to Sports Center. The Braves just had a no-hitter and them, like,
right.
Bro, just sports, please.
Yeah, and I love that we can come together on this because we were talking about this with Demi Lovato, with Madonna. Yeah. We can object to this on totally secular, even amoral grounds that this type of art is not compelling. It's not creative.
Not anymore.
You're just taking notes from an art director that went to the same school as all the other art directors, and they all have the same ideas and the same execution. And nothing is interesting anymore in the art world, in the entertainment world. There's nothing recognizable as subversive or edgy or artistic left. Like, there's nothing left. And that's aside from my personal objection to it, which is just that I think it's obscene.
You know, I disagree. There is a lot of things that could be edgy, that could be thought-provoking. But the reality is,
but they won't.
The platforms that we're on, the priority is selling advertisements, and advertisers for some reason think that people that differ, which is the majority of people, and I insist on this, that differ on the current global hegemony or whatever, that they don't drink Coca-Cola for some reason. Like, it's as if I was watching a PCC thing. Like, you could put a freaking Coke at here and people might buy one, okay? It doesn't need to be like, oh my God, I just peed on myself and I'm dancing and I'm they, them.
Fat and I'm
buy
wearing
Coke.
nipple pasties. Buy Coca-Cola.
Yeah. You know what? Maybe
support
that isn't
Pfizer.
the most satiating moment to have a Coke at.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then it always gets so much uglier from this point on because the opinion pieces start getting rolled out. And I saw one that really disgusted me.
Why am I so mad?
You're justified, in my opinion. So here's one quote from an opinion piece that came out in defense of this raunchy video. It said, "It is an unabashed display of sexuality. Some have branded it as corn. But they are wrong. It's an accusation that reeks of homophobia."
Yeah.
Another part of this article said, "The video isn't cornographic by any real definition of the word. The mere suggestion of sexuality does not equate to corn, nor is such a suggestion inherently unsuitable for children." Another quote, "Children should not be insulated from any content that dares admit sexuality exists."
Interesting.
Look, just
interesting
say
take.
You are a PDF file. I am so tired of talking about this in code words, but could you say it in more explicit terms than this? You are defending exposing children to the mimicking of a scene where someone gets peed on by a room full of people. Like, I'm not saying Sam Smith co-signs on this. I am sure that this whole idea came from somebody else behind the scenes who just thinks it's dope. But the fact that the opinion pieces start rolling out and we see where these people really stand on the issue, it always shows their true colors. And it, like, they're calling themselves out. They're saying the quiet part out loud that no one else needed to point out. They want to course in the culture. They want to defile the innocence and purity, like whatever small, minuscule crumb of it still exists in our culture. Whatever it is, they want to desecrate it.
And again, that's your point of view. And my point of view is that I am sick of things saying that they're controversial and they're not. I am dying to have a piece of art speak to me again. I am, besides the glorious Puss on Boots, I am dying for any artist to try art instead of agreeing with the last corporate shill that they put on some stupid pasties and doing whatever, because you're all doing the same thing anyway.
Yeah, I don't want to go like full 2005 like hashtag moms against Disney on this, but even Puss in Boots, I was thinking like, should you really have bleeped out curse words?
It was great
in a movie for kids. Like I loved Puss in Boots. Okay, I loved the movie, and I was very pleasantly surprised by it. But even that, it's just like I'm tired of seating around. Like, do something wholesome, because that would shock me. That's the last thing that would shock me. Like, that's it. Every other boundary has been crossed.
Thoughts,
Brad?
as you've been staring in horror all the time.
It's boring.
It really is. Isn't that its greatest sin?
I don't care that it exists. I care more about what you said about the creepy, whoever the person was that was saying that it's
Children
okay for
shouldn't
kids to
be
look at.
insulated from sexuality.
And,
Cool.
And there should definitely be some type of age restriction on YouTube, I guess. But in general, stuff like this is so common. I literally I'm just bored by it. It's
same.
boring. I find it vaguely annoying that calling $1 billion company is actually controversial. Calling $1 billion company bad is actually controversial, and this type of stuff is pretend. I don't think something like this should be controversial anymore, because we're just at a point now where it's part of everyday life. Yeah. I have a problem with them. Like, it's like a weird form of stolen valor, where they're like, look at me, I'm
I'm literally like a Stonewall rioter because I'm writhing around on like in a pool of piss on YouTube.
Yeah,
like stop.
Why is every corporate sponsored piece of art, I'm very loosely using that, is it like, isn't this annoying you?
Are my nipple pasties offending you, conservatives? Like, you're just embarrassing yourself.
I bet you hate this, the fact that I'm getting peed on. You're getting peed on, dude.
I also disagree that you think that. I think he had. I think there's no way that he didn't have a ton of say in this.
Oh no, he probably watched it back and was like, "Yes, I slayed." Like,
I think he wanted. I think he loves being a part of something like this, because he loves to push back on people that dare to criticize him because of his gender identity and stuff like this.
Who cares? No one cares. Have it. Have it. Take it. You've won. Congrats. They, them. Congrats. Do something now with it.
They've like collected the spoils of war, and it's not enough.
It's not enough. They want like complete
then
submission.
I ask you,
the malice line.
What would be a Sam Smith music video that would actually be subversive? Well, like homesteading, and like he's like raising chickens, and he's got a wife and kids. And
I don't know.
He's like putting money in his 401k and saving responsibly. Like that. Would that be the controversial version of this, where he actually just goes to church and becomes religious and kind, and that's what's actually controversial, I guess?
I can't tell you from their point of view what would be controversial and edgy, but I can tell you what's not going to work. Hey, making fun of Christianity, guys, overdone.
Yeah.
Overdone. It's super lame. Like, what do you want me to say?
It's maybe he can.
Like, I know that you can't necessarily do the other ones because you'll get in real trouble then.
I can think of a great one that he could do, but you know.
Yeah, go for that one. I mean, don't. Actually, don't.
It's not interesting.
Gonna get a fatwa.
The banality of evil.
I don't see that thing.
Even pointing out the banality of evil is banal at this point.
I don't think it's evil. I think it's dorky.
It's lame.
I think it's lame, and I think it's dorky. I think arguing about whether this should exist absolves the parents of their responsibility to monitor their kids' viewing habits, which we should be better about.
Right.
As Americans adults. We love the idea of putting the responsibility on Hollywood, but then we complain when that we want more control over our schools. You have full control over what your kid is allowed to view up to a certain point, like. So
that's it, like
on
up
the
to a
parents,
certain point.
Maybe the parents could assuage their negative feelings about something like this by not shoving iPads in front of their kids to babysit them because they're too.
And
they love
I don't
to blame.
want that to come off as like, judgmental of parents, because like.
I'm being judgmental.
We're not parents.
We're
but also,
judgmental
like,
of everyone here, and I'm just trying to point out the other side of the argument here that. If you expect your kid that he's going to land into some mythical realm of Hollywood that isn't disgusting and abhorrent, that world doesn't exist anymore. So it's our job as adults. I'm not a parent, but like it's our job that we try to limit our kids' exposure to stuff like this, or at the very least explain that this is not the way the normal people behave. Right?
Sure.
Like Sam Smith can be the weirdo in the double XL waist trainer all he wants, but in the end, like it's the family's job to make sure their kids look at stuff like this, and if they can't stop them from seeing it, offering them a reasonable perspective that shows them that this is not what the real world is.
I think one of the biggest sins that you can do to yourself in life is not being uniquely yourself, and also not doing things that are beautiful and true. And what really annoys me about this is birth control is the repetitive nature of all of this.
More than anything, it's how boring Hollywood is.
Yeah.
That they can't come up with something new and inventive.
Yeah, like it's a cope for moderately to minimally talented people who are obsessed with gaining status, and this is the only space they could possibly maneuver into to get it.
Did you see the thing the other day? It was like where Jennifer Lopez was like, I was the one who was supposed to kiss Madonna at the Grammys or wherever it was.
Even framing that as like a cultural milestone is so annoying to me.
I know, right? It's,
like even that.
This is look.
So stupid.
I don't know if this is a proper representation of the world. I don't think it is. I think that we get
that's for sure.
We get caught in our, like, when I go out into the real world, I'm not like, I mean, I guess that, like, where are you going in the real world where you're seeing this video being replayed and like being reenacted and stuff like this? But it's just, I think you hold Hollywood responsible, and on this show we hold Hollywood plenty responsible, and we complain about Hollywood plenty. But I also think that the parents need to like we can have a say in this too. We as the consumers have a say in this, either by not purchasing it, not playing the song, not being in the music.
This should be easy because his songs are ass.
Yeah. So
I think he has good songs.
He has a good voice. He just has horrible songs.
It's
in my opinion.
I hate the other song more because it's so
Unholy.
annoying.
It's literally
so
like
annoying.
what was it like?
Just all of the cringe.
Daddy's going to the body shop.
Yeah. That was actually kind of.
What the hell is that?
What was the one
He's
with
about some like married father going to a bathhouse?
I also feel really bad for like the average everyday gay person who has to allow Hollywood to have this be their representation of their
Seriously.
life. Look,
stop caring about representation.
Look,
easy.
I'm just saying that, like, for them, for the average person, you know, most likely the average person doesn't care about stuff like this. But to the average gay man or woman who is just going to work, coming home, and living their life, and then they see this stuff, and then people, it's not all that dissimilar to the ridiculously over-the-top way that Hollywood portrays Middle America or the South. A ridiculous stereotype based on ridiculous ideas dreamed up by absolutely pathetically untalented Hollywood script writers and storytellers, and everyone comes out looking worse because they don't know how to tell stories with nuance. You're looking for something new that's edgy. I want them to find a way to be edgy, but maybe with just a shred of nuance,
tact,
to find a way to tell the story more effectively. The fact that they can't even do that is embarrassing. I mean, to me.
The way I see it is like when they stereotype people from the Midwest or people from the South, it's being perpetrated on those people.
Yeah.
And when Sam Smith is portraying himself drinking pee on YouTube, it's himself on himself. It's gay on gay crime.
It's not necessarily true. There's plenty of actors who come from the Midwest and who come from Middle America. Not every actor was born in California, but at a certain point, they sell their souls to live there. Look at Jennifer Lawrence. I had to cut off my toxic parents because they like Donald Trump because I'm a loser. Like, that's the type of, they buy all in on this life and they fall into their own echo chamber, which allows them to believe that they're part of the majority. They're not the majority.
You're not.
This is just boring. And more than anything, it's like, if I have to feel self-conscious taking off my shirt as a moderately in shape person, then I demand he feel some length of shame for dressing like that. I'm over pride. It's time to bring back
Can we have self-deprecation?
Self-deprecation and internal hatred is where it's at in 2023.
Can we have internalized hate parades?
If we can bring back a lot of if these people
parades,
we need to have the decency to be full of self-loathing again. I say that's what I say.
If only.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.